Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. We finished off the Orioles series with a win. There was 5 home runs in that game, 3 for the good guys. Excuse me. And then we had a day off. And there was no interesting transactions yesterday, so no one missed anything. And now we go back home to Tiger Stadium to face the Red Sox. The first game of the 3-game series, Milt Wilcox at 5-2 is going to be facing off against Danny Parks, who is 3-5 for Boston. Boston has fallen on hard times in real life and in this game. They are 19-31, sitting in 6th place in the Eastern Division. And hopefully, now that we're back home and we've had a couple good pitching starts, we can, continue the winning streak. So, at any rate, let's go ahead and get started. As always, thank you to everyone who was watching. Yesterday, that Orioles game was our 50th game of the season, so we're moving along, and I appreciate everyone who is following this video series. So yeah, here's Milt Wilcox, 5-2. He's won his last 2 starts, so I feel pretty good about the direction he's headed. All of our bullpen is available. Aurelio Lopez had that meltdown in the 9th inning to blow a save against Baltimore in the 2nd game of that series. So I'm hoping that a couple of days off in a row will be enough to get him right. All the bullpen's available, so we can feel good about using our bullpen today. And we're hitting against Danny Parks, who's a righty. And I've only made one change. I took Richie Hebner out and put Brookins in for defensive purposes. Hebner did have a home run yesterday, so I feel a little guilty about that, but I wanted to give him a break. And the only other note is Carlton Fisk and Gary Hancock and reliever Bob Stanley. We got them from Boston earlier in the season. So technically they're facing their old team today. So let's get this game going. Looking at the lineup, other than Wolf at second base, it looks like everybody else is the same. So Yastrzemski is leading the Red Sox with 11 home runs. He must be among one of the league leaders. Play ball! So we have Joe Morgan leading off against Milt Wilcox. We're going to bring in the outfield. And mentioning league leaders, at the end of the month, as Joe Morgan squeaks one through the infield for a base hit, at the end of the month we're going to have a special video where we'll recap all of the league leaders for the American League and National League. I know that there must be some people curious who is ahead in all the categories. And so Morgan on first for Wade Boggs. Morgan steals second, as you might expect. Joe Morgan, of course, passed away earlier this month. And true Hall of Famer, Wade Boggs grounds to third. Morgan stays at second. True Hall of Famer, I was never a big fan of his play-by-play that he did on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball. I think a lot of people felt that way, but that doesn't diminish the fact that Joe Morgan was a great athlete and a true Hall of Famer. So 2 down with Jim Rice, Hall of Famer himself, grounding out to short. So looking at the defense for Boston, they have they moved Joe Morgan to short, and they have this Wolf guy at second. I don't remember Joe Morgan ever playing shortstop in his career, and he never has. So this is his 3rd game at short. Okay, well, you know what? Boston is 19-31, so I guess they have every right to do whatever they want to do at this point. Lou Whitaker, Sweet Lou, leading off grounding to second. Danny Parks, he has no photo, and that's because he was a career minor leaguer for Boston. One-time big prospect for them, and he had multiple games and multiple seasons in the minors where he had an ERA under 3. He just never made the call up to the majors, so he walks Steve Kemp. And so maybe based on his potential, he's made it into the starting rotation for Boston. And he induces Carlton Fisk to ground it to second. Tony Perez, Hall of Famer. There's 3 Hall of Famers in this lineup. 4 if you include Boggs and Morgan, so 5. 5 Hall of Famers in the Boston lineup. But most of them are at the tail end of their career. Maybe that's why they're not doing so well. As Perez flied out to Stegman, Yaz is up and he flies out to left field. Yaz's nephew, Mike Yastrzemski, is a pretty good hitter in his own right for the Giants. Mike Yastrzemski didn't get a call-up until he was 27 years old, and he's actually produced really well for the Giants. So we head to the bottom of the second, and Gary Hancock, who had a home run in yesterday's game, leads off. He's going to get a base hit through the middle. I think we'll probably successfully get a few hits through second base there. So Hancock at first. Here's Lance Parrish, who also had a home run yesterday. It was Hancock, Parrish, and Richie Hebner, who I mentioned earlier in the pregame. Those 3 hit home runs yesterday. So Jason Thompson with 1 down. He had a 3-game home run streak earlier in the season. He rips it down the line, down the right field line, and Hancock is going to score. So we take the 1-0 lead on the double by Jason Thompson. That brings up Dave Stegman, who hits it to right field. It's going to be a line drive to the right fielder. And yeah, you know what? I am going to put the pressure on. And Thompson is safe at third. So 2 down for Tommy Brookins, who has just been absolutely horrendous at the plate. He's going to loop it into center field. Is that a base hit? It is a base hit. And an error on the center fielder. So Brookins will advance. That's an error on Tom Poquette out there in center. And that's a 2-run lead. So runner in scoring position. Brookins with good speed. Whitaker is going to walk. So runners in first and second with 2 down for Tram. And Trammell rips it deep to center. Is that gone? It is a home run. Oh man, that is awesome. So a home run for Trammell. That's his 4th. And we're up 5-0. So yeah, that's Trammell and Whitaker yesterday both had errors in the infield, and Trammell making up for it there with a big 3-run bomb. So we head to the top of the third. Here's Larry Wolf. He's the second baseman. I don't know much about Larry Wolf. Looks like he came over from the Minnesota organization. And maybe because he's defensively superior to Morgan, maybe that's why they made that change. I don't know. We'll never know. But Wolf hits the ball to center field. And that'll be 1 down. With Tom Poquette coming up to bat. He had the error last inning. And he flies out to Stegman as well. Back to the top of the lineup for Joe Morgan, who's 3 for 4 against Milt this year. And Morgan walks. I wish there was something I could do to prevent a stolen base, like a pitch out or something, but there's nothing I can do about that in this mode. Wade Boggs is going to fly out to left, and we're through the top of the third. So here's Carlton Fisk, who I mentioned came over in that big trade earlier in the season for us. He has been very productive as he gets a base hit through center. And like I mentioned in earlier games, we moved him into the catcher's role instead of Parrish because he had been catching better defensively. Gary Hancock grounds into a double play. It's going to be 2 down for Parrish. And Parrish gets a base hit through center. So that is definitely going to be a targeted area for us. Here's Jason Thompson, who drove in the first run with a double. And he grounds out back to the pitcher. And that'll be the 3rd out. So top of the 4th, Wilcox pitching pretty well. No strikeouts so far. Wilcox was never much of a strikeout pitcher. That's his 2nd walk, though. And you don't want to be putting lead runners on with this lineup, as Jim Rice gets a base hit. And now it's 1st and 2nd with a tough righty, Hall of Famer Tony Perez. He's slow of foot, so maybe we can get a double play. He strikes out. We'll take that instead. And that brings up Yaz, who in 1980, I believe this was his last year in the majors. He gets a base hit through the left side. And now we have bases loaded against Wilcox. So I praised him, and now we're in real trouble. So that brings up Dave Rader with the bases loaded. He took over for Fisk. It was a pass ball. So, yeah, Fisk defensively has been kind of rough in his own right. Dave Rader's going to ground it to 3rd. Runners are going to hold as they get Rader at 1st. And that's going to bring up Larry Wolf with 2 down. And he rips it to the left, and Kemp's got it for the 3rd out. So the Red Sox get on the board on the pass ball allowed by Fisk. And it's 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Parks is only at 43 pitches. Stegman's going to fly out to 1st to lead off the bottom of the 4th. And here's Brookins, who had a base hit earlier. And he grounds out to Wolf at 2nd. So 2 down for Sweet Lou. Lou going to go down swinging. His batting average is just hanging on above 300. He's at 306 now. So, top of the 5th. Wilcox's pitch count jumped up a lot that inning. It's up to 73 pitches, 76 now with Paquette, as he grounds out to 2nd base with 1 down. So here's Joe Morgan. He's got on base both times, but he strikes out there. It's going to be the 2nd K for Wilcox. Bringing up Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. Boggs is going to fly out to left center field. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Milt. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Trammell is going to lead off. He's going to rip it into the right center gap. It's going to go off the wall for a double. So a home run and a double for Trammell in this game. And a runner in scoring position for Kemp. He's going to strike out swinging for the 1st out. And here is Carlton Fisk, who's going to ground it to 2nd. Trammell should advance to 3rd. He does. So 2 down as Gary Hancock comes to the plate. He's going to beat it right into the ground, back to the pitcher, and that'll be the 3rd out. So Tigers still leading 5-1 as we head to the top of the 6th. This is the point where we got to keep an eye on Wilcox. He doesn't usually get past the 6th inning. There's a base hit for Lynn. That's the 4th hit for the Red Sox. Sure would like to turn 2. Well, we'll take a strikeout from Jim Rice. It's going to be 1 down for Tony Perez, runner at 1st. And Perez is going to flip it down the right field line. Going to be held to a single by Gary Hancock. And Fred Lynn is going to advance to third. So we need to really be careful. We got two lefties. I guess, yeah, 90 pitches. I'm going to take out Wilcox and bring in a lefty. We're going to bring in Schatzeder. Yaz is 0 for 2 against Schatzeder. Wilcox did well. Not great, but we'll take that outing. And see if Schatzeder can induce a double play. There's a ground ball to first base. And they do turn 2 and get out of it. So we preserve the possible win for Wilcox. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Lance Parrish, batting .283 with 7 home runs. He gets walked by Parks. That's 3 walks for the rookie Danny Parks. So JT's up, and he's going to hit it the opposite way to left field. And it's going to be caught for the first out. So 1 down for Dave Stegman. He's 0 for 5 against Parks this season. Wow, that really stayed up in the air. Do I want Parrish to advance to second? I'm going to say no. I mean, he's got an 80% chance. Look at that. The ball is outside of the diamond. Yeah, you know what? If a ball's outside of the diamond, he should advance, right? Yes, okay. So Parrish takes second base. And that's going to leave it up to Brookins to drive Parrish in. Brookins is going to pop it up to center field. Paquette doesn't have to run as far to get that one. So, all right. So that's the end of 6. And we're ahead 5-1. And that's going to bring up Dave Rader to lead off the top of the 7th. And Rader's going to push it through the left side for a base hit. And we are at the bottom of the lineup with Larry Wolf and then Paquette in the 9 spot. So we're going to take a minor risk and let Schatzeder pitch to Wolf. And that's a good choice because he's going to ground to Trammell. They can't turn the double play. It's going to be 1 down. Wolf is at second. Tom Paquette is up. Oh, and he bleeds it through. Wolf advances on the base hit. And now we have first and second. So Joe Morgan, the leadoff hitter, with 1 down. He's going to go down swinging. So it's 2 outs. And I like the lefty-lefty matchup. So we're going to leave Schatzeder in there. And Boggs is going to get a base hit to left. It's going to be a double, actually, even though it was hit right at Kemp. Both runs are going to score. And that brings the game within 2 runs. And I really thought leaving the lefties in there against... having the lefty Schatzeder in there against the lefties was going to be a good move, but so far, not the way I expected it to turn out. Oh, man! And Fred Lynn gets a 2-run home run to tie the game. So my long reliever cannot hold a 4-run lead. And that's going to boost his ERA up to 3.76. And we're going to have to bring in a righty. We're going to bring in Roger Weaver. So 2 down. Hall of Famer Jim Rice. And he's going to lift a fly ball to center, and that should get us out of the inning. But not after we give up 4 runs, and the game is tied at 5 into the bottom of the 7th. So I don't really feel like I made any bad managerial decisions there. I just thought a lefty-lefty matchup should get it done. But in truth, as Whitaker grounds out to second, I have been pushing Schatzeder pretty hard through the first 2 months. So he was probably due for a bad outing. 2 down with Steve Kemp, and he's going to fly out to center. So Parks is back in this game, He's only got 91 pitches through 7. We're going to leave Weaver in there to face Tony Perez. Perez is going to get a base hit to center field. And now we have a couple lefties coming up. So we're going to take out Roger Weaver. We're going to bring in Pat Underwood. The only reason I'm not going to Hiller in the setup role is that we might go into extra innings and need them. So we're going to focus on another lefty-lefty matchup. Yaz is going to fly out to left center field. That's going to be 1 down. And we're going to be crossing our fingers for another double play. Nope. Pat Underwood's going to drill Raider right in the ankle. And now we are in tough shape. We're going to bring the outfield in. And that's going to be the number 8 hitter, Larry Wolf. And of course, he gets a base hit up the middle. Will Perez score? No, he doesn't. So we've got to bring the infield in now. Man, our bullpen, who's been so good, other than that Aurelio Lopez outing in Baltimore, is really letting me down. There's a line drive to Whitaker at second. It's going to be 2 outs. I thought maybe we could double somebody off, but no luck. So we're going to bring the outfield in for Joe Morgan, so he doesn't drop anything in. And Morgan is going to go down swinging. So we get out of that one and head to the bottom of the 8th. We are basically hanging on by a string right now. As Fisk leads off, and he hits it to right center field, and that'll be the first out. Parks has really settled in since the 2nd inning where he gave up all those runs. Done a good job allowing the Red Sox time to get back into this game. Hancock flies out to right for the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Parrish. He's going to walk. So that's 4 walks for Danny Parks. He's at 100 pitches, and Thompson strikes out. Man, we head to the top of the 9th. Yeah, I'm going to leave Underwood in there. I mean, save our other relievers for extra innings if we get that far. So Wade Boggs leading off, lefty on lefty matchup. And Boggs is going to hit a line drive to center. That'll be the first out. And here's Fred Lynn, who just ruined everything with that 2-run home run tying the game. He's going to rip it to Jason Thompson at first. And that'll be the 2nd out. So we're going to take out Underwood. We're going to bring in Bob Stanley. Stanley helps you do things right. And he's going to face his old teammate, Jim Rice, with 2 down in the 9th. And Rice is going to ground it to first base. So we head to the bottom of the 9th, and we have been good. We've had a few walk-offs this season. So Dave Stegman is going to lead off the inning. He's going to get a base hit through the left side. And yeah, we're gonna take out Brookins for a pinch hitter. Let's look at the righties' batting averages. I'm gonna bring in. I guess I got to bring in Hebner, who's going to replace him defensively anyway. So it just makes sense. We're going to hit and run. Stegman's got better than average speed. And that's going to work. It's going to be a base hit down the left side. Stegman is going to advance to third, holding the runners, holding Stegman at third base. And now it's going to be up to Sweet Lou. They're keeping Parks in there at 113 pitches. All we need is a sac fly, Lou. Oh, I don't know what he did there. Lou dribbled weakly to the catcher, and the lead runner was tagged out at home. That is BS. That is crap if I ever seen it. All right, well, now I don't know what to do. 4 for 10 with a home run and 2 walks? Okay. And he's tired. So, Tram, we're counting on you. And that ought to be the game as he gets a base hit. We'll have your score. Yes! Another walk-off win. Trammell gets a base hit, and we win the game 6-5. Let's take a look at transactions real quick. Oh my gosh, there is a trade. Oakland trades Dwayne Murphy, their center fielder, for Ben Hayes, pitcher, and someone you may have heard of, Cal Ripken, who was earlier traded to Cincinnati. So no one wants Cal Ripken. That doesn't make any sense. But Ripken now plays short for Oakland. So that's a big trade there. So let's take a look at the box score. 6-5 final score for Detroit. And while the box score is loading, I just want to say thanks again to everyone. We did have a card opening earlier today. Since it's Football Sunday, I opened football cards today. So feel free to take a look at that if that interests you. And as always, I appreciate everyone following along. And until tomorrow, have a great night.